Hello friends, welcome back to my channel BOE Tutorials. In this video we will discuss about properties of steam. In last video we have discussed about vapor formation process, constant volume process, constant pressure process, constant temperature process, hyperbolic process, polytropic process, isentropic process and throttling process. Method of determination of dryness fraction of steam. There are four methods of determining the dryness fraction of steam. The methods are as follows: bucket calorimeter, separating calorimeter, throttling calorimeter, combined separating and throttling calorimeter. So first is bucket calorimeter. This method of determining the dryness fraction of steam is not very accurate. The value of dryness fraction obtained by this method is lower than the actual value. A known weight of steam is passed through the water where steam is completely condensed. The heat loss by steam is equated to the heat gain by the water. Next is separating calorimeter. This calorimeter is generally used to measure the probable value of dryness fraction of steam when the steam is very wet. It consists of a device for trapping the water and draining it off. The steam which escapes the instrument is condensed in a condenser. While calculating the dryness fraction of the steam, it is assumed that all the water particles in suspension are separated out and the steam leaving the separator is dry. This assumption is not correct, so the result obtained are approximate. Next is throttling calorimeter. It is shown combined with separating calorimeter in the figure. When steam is allowed to pass through a restricted opening such as a partially closed valve, the steam is said to be throttled. The pressure of steam decreases but the volume increases. If no heat is lost by leakage to atmosphere, the total energy of the steam is the same before throttling and after throttling. Since the total heat of the steam remains the same after throttling, the steam becomes dry. If the dryness fraction of the steam is high initially, then after throttling the steam gets superheated and the temperature of superheated heat can be measured by a thermometer. The pressure of the steam after throttling can be read by a manometer. As the pressure and the temperature of the steam after throttling are known, the enthalpy of the steam after throttling can be calculated. Since the enthalpy before throttling is equal to enthalpy after throttling, the unknown quantity. The dryness fraction of steam before throttling can be calculated. Enthalpy before throttling is equal to HF1 plus X1 into HFG1, where P1 is equal to absolute pressure of steam before throttling, HF1 is equal to sensible heat of steam corresponding to P1, HFG1 is equal to latent heat of steam corresponding to P1, and X1 is equal to dryness fraction of steam at P1 entering the throttling unit. Enthalpy after throttling is equal to Hg2 plus Cp into T superated minus T saturated, where P2 is equal to pressure of steam after throttling, Hg2 is equal to enthalpy of 1 kg of dry saturated steam corresponding to P2, Tsup is equal to temperature of superheated steam after throttling, Tsat is equal to temperature of saturated steam at constant pressure. Enthalpy before throttling is equal to enthalpy after throttling. Therefore, HF1 plus X1 into HF1 is equal to Hg2 plus Cp into T superated minus T saturated is equal to T superated 2. Therefore, X1 is equal to Hg2 plus Cp T superheated minus T saturated minus HF1 divided by HFG1. So H superheated minus HF1 divided by HFG1. Next one is combined separating and throttling calorimeter. A combined separating and throttling calorimeter is used to remove the drawback of separating calorimeter. Water particles from wet steam are not fully separated, and the drawback of a throttling calorimeter not suitable for very wet steam. So, principle of combined separating and throttling calorimeter. In this calorimeter, the moisture from wet steam sample is first removed in separating calorimeter, so that dryness fraction of wet steam sample is increased about 0.95 before steam sample is entering into throttling calorimeter. During this process, pressure and temperature remain constant. The sample coming out from separating calorimeter is then passed through throttling calorimeter, where it expands to superheated steam. Procedure of determining steam dryness fraction. A sample of wet steam from main steam pipe represented by point A in figure is first enter the separating calorimeter through a sampling tube. While passing through separating calorimeter, most of the moisture from wet steam is separated out and collected in the inner chamber of the separating calorimeter, where it is measured with scale. Now comparatively dry steam having dryness fraction above 0.95 from separating calorimeter represented by point B in figure is passed into throttling calorimeter through throttling valve, where it expands to superheated steam represented by point C. The superheated steam after passing through throttling calorimeter is then exhausted from throttling calorimeter into a condenser provided at the bottom of the throttling calorimeter, where it is finally condensed and measured. There are some examples. So first question is differentiate between enthalpy and entropy. Enthalpy is the summation of internal energy and flow work, but entropy is not energy but simply a property. Mathematically, enthalpy is defined as H is equal to U plus PV, and mathematically entropy is defined as Q is equal to dQ upon T. Enthalpy is one form of stored energy which can be converted to another form like work, kinetic energy, etc. Entropy cannot be converted into another form, but it can be created. Enthalpy is not used for deciding the direction of the process. Entropy is useful for deciding the direction and effectiveness of the process and measure the molecular disorder. Enthalpy mixing it obey algebraically additive law. Entropy does not obey the algebraically additive law in case of mixing. Enthalpy unit is kilojoule per kg and entropy unit is kilojoule per kg K. Next question is differentiate between dry steam and superheated steam. So dry steam heat content per kg of steam is equal to H plus L and is lower than superheated steam. And total heat content per kg of superheated steam is equal to H plus L plus Cp into T superheated minus T saturated. Temperature of steam is equal to saturated temperature of steam in dry steam, and the temperature of steam is higher than saturated steam for superheated steam. A specific volume of dry steam is lower than superheated steam at same pressure, and specific volume of superheated steam is higher than dry steam at same pressure of 1 kg of superheated steam. Temperature and total heat is directly available in the steam table for dry steam. and total heat is to be calculated and not directly available in the steam table for superheated steam. For providing dry steam, no need of superheat. Only steam separator is required to install in the drum. And for producing superheated steam, superheater is additionally required to be installed. Next example is two boilers A and B are delivering steam in equal amount to a common main steam pipe, both at a pressure of 14 kg per centimeter square absolute. Boiler A has a superheater and boiler B is without superheater. The temperature of steam supplied by the boiler A is 300 degrees Celsius. The temperature of the resulting mixture of steam internal, the steam mains is 235 degrees Celsius. Assuming Kp for superheat, specific heat of steam supplied by the boiler B without the superheater. So solution is, let's assume each boiler deliver 1 kg of steam. Then the mass of the mixture of steam is 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 kg. Since boiler A is having superheater, its quality of steam is at pressure of 14 kg per centimeter square. Temperature is 300 degrees Celsius. Boiler B does not have a superheater, so its quality of steam may be wet or dry saturated, and temperature of mixture of steam is 235 degrees Celsius. Now from steam table at 14 kg per centimeter square, Ts is equal to 194.14 degrees Celsius, H is equal to 197.1 kilocalorie per kg, L is equal to 468.9 kilocalorie per kg, H is equal to 666 kilocalorie per kg. As Ts is 194.14 degrees Celsius, the quality of the mixture of steam is superheated. Total heat of 1 kg of steam of boiler A is equal to H plus Kp into T superheated minus T saturated. It's come 717.45 kilocalorie per kg. So total heat of 1 kg of steam of mixture of steam is equal to H plus Kp into T superheated minus T saturated, and putting the value we find 684.95 kilocalorie per kg. Total heat of 2 kg of mixture of steam is 2 into 684.95 is 1369.9 kilocalorie per kg. Now the quality of steam of boiler B may have some dryness fraction. Total heat of 1 kg steam of boiler B is H plus X into L. So 197.1 plus X into 468.9 kilocalorie per kg. Now total heat of mixture of 2 kg steam is equal to total heat of 1 kg steam of boiler A plus total heat of 1 kg of steam of boiler B. So 717.45 plus 197.1 plus X into 468.9 kilocalorie per kg. But we have calculated the total heat of 2 kg mixture of steam, which is equal to 1369.90 kilocalorie. So equaling both, we find that X is equal to 97.11%. Example 2. 1 meter cube of steam at a pressure of 8 atm and having dryness fraction of 0.9 losses 1000 kilocalorie of heat at constant pressure. So calculate the dryness fraction at the end of the heat loss. So volume of steam is 1 meter cube. Pressure of steam is 8 atm. Dryness fraction of steam before heat loss is 0.9 and heat loss is 1000 kilocalorie. So find dryness fraction of steam after heat loss. from steam table at pressure 8 at Ts is equal to 169.61 degree and H is equal to 171.3 kilocalorie per kg. L is equal to 489.5 kilocalorie per kg and Vs is equal to 0.2448 meter cube per kg and mass of 1 meter cube steam is 4.08496. Total heat of 1 kg steam before heat loss is H plus X into L. So we find that 611.85 kilocalorie per kg. So total heat of 4.08496 kg of steam is 4.08496 into 611.85 is equal to 2499.38 kilocalorie. Total heat of 4.08496 kg of steam after heat loss is equal to 2499.38 minus 1000. So it's equal to 1499.3827 kilocalorie per kg. But total heat of 4.08496 kg of steam after heat loss is 4.08496 into H plus X into L. So putting the value and from equation 1 and 2 we found that X is equal to 0.40. So there are some example for practice. So you can practice at home. So there are some question like critical pressure and critical temperature at steam, sensible and latent heat of steam, specific volume of steam, wire drawing, throttling process, and there are some also numerical question. If you have any problem to solve this example, please comment in comment box with the question number. So we will try to provide solution for all examples. Fuels and combustion will describe in detail in next video. So friends, if you like this video, then like and share. Also don't forget to subscribe this channel and press bell icon for getting notification of my upcoming videos.